Hi, my name is Mayad Alos. I'm an urban sketcher. Recently launched a tutorial series on urban sketching. Started with the basics, so I'm setting some exercises for people to work with to improve their urban sketching techniques. Last video, we introduced some complex shapes for in one-point perspective. Today, I would like to use them in the right setting or in an urban sketching setting, and therefore we're going to demonstrate how to use these shapes in sash windows in one-point perspective. So, first of all, we're going to draw the horizon line somewhere towards the middle of the page. And let's assume that our vanishing point is there. I think I'm going to start by identifying where the door is. And remember that the door, your eye level, is about 3/4 of the way up. So if that's a quarter, that's half, and that's 3/4 of the way up, roughly. So the base of the door is going to lead to the vanishing point, and the top of the door is going to be leading. So all your horizontals effectively lead to the vanishing point. And then we're going to draw the right-hand side edge. And I'm going to draw a window to the right-hand side of the door, which is pretty much the height of the door, but is going to be shorter at the bottom. So that's the window next to the door. Let's just assume that our house ends here. And if we make our roof somewhere there, so this is the top of your house, I'm going to now add another window, and I'm going to make it the same width as my ground floor window. And actually, let's make it even the same height. So roughly this is that size, and that's going to be that size is there, and that's going to be our top floor window, which is more or less the same size as the ground floor window. So what we want to now show is these are effectively the leading edges of the windows and door. Now we want to see what the depth looks like in perspective. In one point perspective, your depth is horizontal. In 2 points perspective, it's at an angle. So we're going to stick to 1 point perspective today. And I'm suggesting that this is the depth of the window. And so I've identified where I want to finish the depth. And now at that point, which is the intersection of the ceiling and the side of the window, I'm going to draw a line leading up to the vanishing point. The depth of the window upstairs is going to be the same as the depth of the window downstairs. And again, I'm going to draw a horizontal line here, which shows me where my ceiling now is going to intersect. And you can see the ceiling of that window underneath is very similar is very narrow and thin. That's because as a person, you're actually standing here effectively. Yeah, so that's where you are. So you could probably just about see the roof of that window, but you will see more of the base of that window there. Okay, so you'll see the base more than the roof of that window. Again, the same thing with the door. You'll see a little bit of the roof of the aperture, and somewhere there, you see, we'll draw a horizontal, and that gives us the base of the door. And because we're standing here, we can see the right-hand side edge, or reveal as it's called, and not the left-hand side. And what that actually looks like is now a window. So I'm now going to suggest that there's a window, there's a sash window. So I'm going to identify the center line here, and I'm going to identify the center line there as well. Whoops. And that's more or less the center line here. And that's where the top sash window meets the bottom sash. And that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to now do it very quickly with pen, just to show you the sharpness. The depth of the windows you can see. So from underneath, because you're looking upward, you can see the depth of the top sash, but you can't see the depth of the bottom sash. And in fact, you can barely see the bottom of the bottom sash because this window sill actually hides it. And then you've got a glazing bar that way. Again, we have the top sash intersection. You can't see the bottom of the top sash window, and you can see now so you can't see the underside of it, and now you can see the bottom of the lower sash. So in here you couldn't see the bottom of the lower sash. Here you can, because your eyes is above it. And then you've got your glazing bar. So now I'm just going to highlight it all in pen so you can see what it looks like. So this is the edge of the house. That's where the roof will meet your the top of the house. Then you've got the leading edge, which is the visible edge of that window. And then the bottom of that window. That's the reveal. It's called the reveal, which is the inside depth of that window. And that's where they intersect. And in here, we're just going to very quickly shade it so that you can differentiate. And then that's the top sash. And these sash windows are amazing practice because they've got so many very different angles that once you master these sash windows, you can pretty much do most regular geometric objects. And then you have the bottom of the sash window there. And then that's the actual timber section. And just to be a little bit fancy, we're going to put a bit more depth to the wood here, a bit more depth, and just to make it look like a proper sash window so you can actually relate to it. Okay, and then we're going to do the ground floor one. So this is a very useful exercise. Please repeat it time and time again. You'll find it incredibly handy when you're doing urban sketching, because these sash windows, they will teach you all about the angles and the shapes that you will come across in your day-to-day career of urban sketching. So now we're going to draw the bottom sash. We're going to shade as if the sun is here. So we're going to suggest that these are in the shade. And of course there will be shade on all of that window will be in the shade. So here's an example of how you practice sash windows in one-point perspective. I hope that's useful. Please use this exercise in conjunction with the last video. The more you practice, the better you will get. If I were you, I would move these windows up and down the horizon line, above, below, and try and vary the width, the height of the windows until you feel really comfortable where you don't need to use a ruler or even have the horizon line or a vanishing point. If you found this useful, please subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram. And if you really want to, then subscribe to my tutorial series.